Howdy. How are you today? Going on a walk, and I wanted to film a YouTube video, so here we are. I look both ways before I get in the street. Today's video centers on things that your pediatrician should have told you but failed to. And more specifically, things that my pediatrician should have told me but failed to. So let's get right into it. We expect that they will look out for our child and give us the advice that we need to take good care of them. However, just like all people, pediatricians sometimes fall short. Sometimes they don't have enough time to tell us all the things that we need to know, or they don't think it's important, or they just forget to mention these quote-unquote details. So here are some things that your pediatrician should have told you but didn't, and why you need to know them. Also, shout out to my new ice cream cone mic. You see it? Yeah? I'm getting fancy on this channel. Let's get into number one. The first thing your pediatrician should have told you but didn't is the importance of iron in your baby's diet. This is one that I actually had never heard of before reading a few baby nutrition books. Babies need like an absolute ton of iron, okay? A 7 to 12 month old needs about 11 milligrams of iron per day, which is as much as a teenage boy. Just for perspective, 11 milligrams of iron is 3 more milligrams every day than an adult needs. By body weight, that is an absolute ton of iron. Well, why do we need to know that though? Why is that important? According to the WHO, 23% of 8-month-old babies are iron deficient. And since iron is such a vital nutrient for the growth and development of your baby, they can really suffer if they don't have enough. You want a snack? Had to stop for a snack break. I am taking a walk with my child. Iron deficiency can cause pale skin, fatigue, poor appetite, and even behavioral problems for your baby. It can negatively affect your baby's cognition, their motor abilities. It can impair their very rapid development. So making sure that your baby gets enough iron is absolutely crucial. Hi, I'm gonna slide this in here right now because I forgot to say it earlier, but please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. I am trying my bestest to get to 1,000 subscribers, and it would mean the absolute world to me if you would hit those buttons for me. I am such a small channel. I notice every single like, I notice every single new subscriber, and it makes my day. The second thing that your pediatrician probably failed to tell you is that swing sets are actually life-threatening for children under the age of 2. Putting your baby on a swing set, typically, you would think, hey, yeah, that's just a fun way to bond with my child, right? And while it might stimulate their senses, it actually can pose a risk of brain damage. One of the main causes of brain damage in babies is traumatic brain injury, which only occurs when a sudden force or impact damages brain tissue. So swinging your baby high, fast, or roughly can cause that. This is especially a danger if your baby is not strapped in securely or if they fell off the swing set. This danger, fortunately, as I mentioned before, significantly tapers off at the age of 2. And for this reason alone, me and my husband have decided to keep our baby, who she's almost 2, she'll be 2 end of this month. We're gonna keep her off of swing sets until she's 2 for the sake of her little noggin. Another thing your pediatrician may have failed to tell you is the importance of getting tongue and lip ties removed. If you or your provider find a tongue or a lip tie on your child and your pediatrician says, oh, don't worry about that, it's nothing, I'm begging you, get a second opinion. My baby had a severe lip tie, okay? We noticed the lip tie when she was born, and we were assured by our pediatrician that it's nothing to worry about. Even though it did hurt me to breastfeed, my daughter's pediatrician said, oh, don't worry about that, she's gaining weight well, nothing to worry about. So we did nothing until months and months and months later, despite being well ahead on all her other milestones, my baby started slipping behind on her speech milestones. Not only that, but my baby did not sleep like at all at night for over a year. But you know what? Getting her lip tie removed resolved both of these issues. Funny how that works, how even though it wasn't an issue, getting her lip tie removed not only made breastfeeding a lot easier, but resolve these issues that lip ties are known to cause. What a weird coincidence. Sorry, I'm not trying to sound super jaded. I am a little jaded though. See my blog in the description down below if you are wondering, like, what are some common signs that maybe a lip tie is negatively affecting my child. There's a whole little list under the section for lip ties in there if you want to read some more. The third thing your pediatrician probably didn't tell you but should have is the danger of throwing your baby in the air. Now, throwing our children in the air, it evokes a mental image of a happy family life, you know, mother, husband, just throwing the baby up, everyone's laughing and giggling, having a great time. It's often what we think about when we think of like a happy parenthood, childhood, etc. What's not to love about it? Well, frankly, the consequences. This seemingly harmless activity can actually cause neck strain or injury to your little baby. Babies have really large heads per their body weight and extremely weak neck muscles also compared to adults. So throwing them up in the air can cause their head to kind of, you know, jerk like that, like whipping their hair back and forth, but not in a good way, not in the fun way. They're not dancing to a bop, they're just getting hurt. And kind of like with the swing set thing, it can cause brain damage. They're little.
Daddy.
Oh, there's a doggy. There's some doggies on our walk. Let's see, can we get them? Are they in there? Yeah, there's the doggies.
Bye.
Yeah, bye-bye doggies. Bye-bye. Throwing babies in the air can actually cause damage to their blood vessels, nerves, and tissues. It can lead to bleeding, swelling, and even oxygen deprivation in their brain, which can lead to permanent brain damage or even death. And this is not something that happens like, oh, only if I drop my baby will this happen. No, just the action of throwing them up and jerking their heads is a huge danger. And that's not to even to mention like the risk that comes with throwing a baby up is that you might not catch them for some reason. So like, that's not cool. And a third thing that you may not think about when throwing your baby up in the air is that babies are small and they don't really have a lot of context for what's going on in the world, right? And so you may be really scaring your baby. Even if they don't really seem scared, they might be terrified. And that can negatively affect your relationship with your baby. And we don't want that. The danger of brain... Oh, it's okay. Oh, you dropped your snack. We gotta go back and get the snack. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Almost dropped my baby trying to go get the snack. We got the snack. Oh no. We got the snack. There you go. Just like with the danger of swing sets, the danger posed by throwing your baby up in the air significantly tapers off once the child reaches the age of 2. I'm not recommending doing it really at all even after the age of 2 because it just sounds like not a great idea for me to recommend that to people. I'm not saying I won't do that when my child is 2 because it sounds actually kind of like fun, but you know, use this information to make an informed decision, if you will. Man, all these cars are so loud. It's really just like annoying me a little bit. But anyway, a slightly less, you know, life or death thing that we might want to look out for that your pediatrician also probably didn't tell you about is the danger of using non-mineral sunscreens for your child. Non-mineral sunscreens are sunscreens that contain chemical ingredients to absorb the sun's UV rays and they convert them into heat. So I'm talking oxybenzone, okay, oxygenazate, avobenzone, etc. Okay, these kinds of sunscreens. These things have been shown to have negative effects on babies' hormones and their reproductive health. Gonna go on a different street because this one is killing me with the loudness of the cars. Okay. Non-mineral sunscreens can act as hormone disruptors, which are chemicals that interfere with the body's natural hormone production and balance. Some of these chemicals mimic the effect of estrogen or block the effect of testosterone. Non-mineral sunscreens can also affect the development and function of your baby's reproductive organs, such as ovaries, testes, uterus, prostate, etc. This is something I actually learned when I was pregnant. A lot of these health organizations do not recommend that pregnant women use mineral sunscreens because of these risks, because you have a baby developing inside of you and their private parts are developing inside of you. It's a very fragile time in the child's life. So what should we do instead? We need to opt for sunscreens that use physical rather than chemical barriers. What these look like are titanium oxide and zinc. Read your sunscreen labels carefully and thoroughly. So please, please, please opt for these kinds of sunscreens for your babies, your toddlers, or for yourself if you are expecting. It's so important. Okay. Something else your pediatrician may have failed to tell you: what to do if your baby's missing milestones. Most providers are unfortunately pretty busy, and because of this, your visits with them may be short. This might not really give you the kind of time you need to explain the concerns you have, and even if you voice concerns, they might be quickly brushed off. But if you are worried about your child's milestones and your provider doesn't seem to think it's a big deal, if you know in your soul and your mother instincts are telling you that something is off, get a new provider. Why do I say that? Because early intervention is so essential. The earlier action is taken, the less behind your child will fall, giving your child more time to catch up with appropriate treatment. This gives your child more time to catch up. And don't worry about looking like a hypochondriac, because here's how I see it. If you're right, you're making sure your child gets the care that they need. And if you're wrong, you might waste some time and you might waste some money, but you will not have to be wondering, is something wrong? Peace of mind and knowing beyond a doubt that you are taking the best care of your baby is well worth a little bit of wasted time and a little bit of wasted money. Some steps you can take if your baby is missing milestones is to keep track of their development using a checklist or an app. I have some listed in my blog post. Be sure to talk to your family's pediatrician. If your child needs more testing, follow up with recommended specialists and services, and be sure to do your best to support your child's development at home by providing them with plenty of play, reading, talking to them, singing to them, and praising them, etc. Another thing that your pediatrician may not have told you, but that you need to know, is the dangers of screen time. And this one is not what you think, I promise. I'm not going to stand here and tell you that screen time is terrible and your child should never ever look at a screen, because I'm not that crunchy of a mom, okay? I'm not like that. My child does look at screens. What you need to know though, what is crucial for your child's health to know, is that screens and screen time can have an incredibly detrimental effect to your baby's eyes. And this isn't some wives' tale, okay? The American Academy of Ophthalmology recommends no media use in children younger than 18 to 24 months of age, and very, very limited screen time for children for several years after that. That's a direct quote from them, okay? Due to the variety of health concerns associated with screen time, but namely, the increased risk of myopia, or, as most people know it, nearsightedness. Screen time before 24 months of age has the potential to permanently damage the way that your baby's eyes develop and create lifelong nearsightedness. Now, while I personally feel that it's almost impossible to keep your child completely off of devices for this long, this knowledge has really helped me and motivated me to keep my baby away from screens as much as I reasonably can. Your pediatrician also, unfortunately, likely forgot to mention the dangers of noisy toys. Noisy toys can have negative consequences for babies and toddlers, especially on their behavior and their milestone development. Some of the ways that noisy toys can affect babies and toddlers are that they interfere with their attention span and concentration, making it harder for your baby to learn new skills and explore their environment. Noisy toys also distract your baby from social interactions with the people around them, reducing the opportunities for bonding and language development. These toys can overstimulate your baby and cause them to become agitated, restless, or even aggressive. This one I have seen firsthand. My toddler gets so overstimulated by loud toys. The deafening sounds that these toys make can be extremely grating, so it's not great for mom and dad's mental health. Not to mention, if these loud toys are held close enough and long enough to your baby's ears, it can cause hearing damage and loss. For these reasons, we keep noisy toys to the absolute minimum in our very small house. Again, I don't think that these kinds of toys can be completely avoided altogether in modern life, but kept to a minimum, the likelihood of these negative effects tends to diminish. Your pediatrician also likely has not told you that you have options. If you're at all dissatisfied with your pediatrician, even if they've been the family doctor for decades, if they're not giving you the information you need or giving your child the care you know that they deserve, you can drop them. As hard as it can be to find a good provider for your child, if you never even start the search for one, you'll never find one. That being said, if you love your doctor and want to stay with them, an open and honest conversation can and should be had. And perhaps such a conversation would put you at ease or resolve any problems you had in the first place. Either way, I really hope that you have found all of this to be really informative and even enjoyable. That's all I have for you today. Thank you bunches.